What's up, everyone? It's Chicks in the Office with Rhea and Fran, giving you that Friday energy on a Monday. Happy Monday, everybody. We are recording from a different location today. If you're watching on YouTube, then you can see that. We are recording live from Macy's in Herald Square. Super cool location. If you've been here before, then you know it. And if you haven't been here and you've been wanting to come to New York, then you've probably have it on your list to stop by the Macy's Herald Square location where we are right now. We're in these big comfy chairs. I feel like I'm just like soaking right in.
You know, like
and
what your feet like... When your feet don't touch the ground.
I know, they're just like dangling, and I feel like so cute and small right now.
I feel like I'm like in a little kid's chair.
Right,
so my
exactly.
feet are hanging off the edge.
But these chairs are super comfortable.
They are
and
really comfortable.
We are so happy to be recording at Macy's today. Super fun. Love changing up the location. You know, usually we're in our Chicks in the Office studio, but now we are literally in the middle of Macy's, and we could see people shopping, in which I'm extremely jealous.
Yeah, and we're in a great area. This little studio is right in the like makeup and perfume department, which twist my arm. That's exactly where I'll be.
It's extremely tempting. Right now we are in head to toe Macy's, and we're loving it. I got these jeans when we were in LA, and I love a little flare jean because when I wear them with heels, I then begin to look a little bit taller than I really am. I'm about 5'3.5", and you know, sometimes I like to feel
3.5 feels generous.
Yeah, I like to put that half in there. My license,
I was like, I'm like 5'5.5", and I feel like I'm definitely more than 2 inches taller.
Yeah. My license says 5'4". That's a big fat lie.
Your license is 5'4"?
Yes, I lied.
Did you just write it? I mean, you just write it yourself. Obviously.
No, they don't. They don't test you, and I just wrote 5'4".
Yeah,
which is a lie. And you know, sometimes
that would be a hilarious thing to get caught, like if you were trying to get into a bar and you had a really strict bouncer, and the bouncer was like, "Honey, 5'4".
He's not gonna get me on 1 inch, but
no.
Sometimes I feel taller. In these jeans, I feel taller, and with heels on, I feel taller. With these jeans, gives a taller appearance. But sometimes I'll see pictures and videos of myself, and I'm like, oh my God, you're so short, and it like really sticks with me. So sometimes I like a flare jean to give me that little boost in my life. Yeah. So I'm rocking those right now. And as I was walking around the Macy's, I was like, I am one tall bitch, but I'm not.
Strutting your stuff. Well, it is cool to see everybody shopping, being inside the Macy's, and we have a ton of really exciting things coming up. We have trips, we have vacations, weddings. If you have any of those types of things coming up, the Macy's Friends and Family sale is here April 25th to May 5th. Macy's.com and in store. You can get an extra 30% off brands that almost never go on sale, like Levi's, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Nike, Gap, Hotel Collection, Lego, and more. Plus, like we said, we're in this beautiful little makeup and skincare and perfume department. 15% off beauty, makeup, and more, plus free shipping. $25, which is great. I'm in Levi's jeans, so they're classic.
They are classic. Beyonce. Yep.
And
many others.
Yep. That's just the one that popped in my head right away, you know, because I've been listening to that song a lot. And Post Malone. Yeah. And he's on both albums. What a great, you know, wow, I just put that together right now, which is not groundbreaking, but
no, it is.
Yes,
for us in this moment.
So make sure you're shopping the sale, guys. It's the Macy's Friends and Family Sale, April 25th to May 5th, Macy's.com. Or if you're in New York, you want to come on down to the Herald Square location, really get your shop on, walk through the store. It's an awesome store. It's so many floors, so much to explore, and take advantage of that Friends and Family sale. And
today's episode is presented by Macy's. What we noticed sitting here was they have a nice little pump up in the morning.
Yeah.
They play a song and they clap their hands together and they welcome the first customers of the day.
Amazing.
And
it made me wish I was coming in here as the first customer.
Right. I was like, wait, we're not the first customers of the day. We can't get the pump up song, but we heard it from up here, which was a great start to our day after a lovely weekend. I just have to say, I had a fantastic weekend.
I love that.
Top to bottom. I just really did. Like, I went to bed last night. You know, I had like such an awesome Sunday to top off my weekend too. You know when you just have that good Sunday, you know?
Yes.
Your Sundays can either go to waste, I've talked about this before, or you can just have like a really, you know, productive or relaxing / productive Sunday. And I had one of those. And as I was resting...
Details?
Well, I'll go through my weekend, I guess. We had friends come and stay with us this weekend. The taco bar, margarita bar on Friday night, of course. Success. I sent you pictures.
Yes. So it was really cute. You got a sign and everything.
I did. I got a taco bar sign. I hung it up. You know, cooked up the classics and made a little taco bar, which everyone loved, and it was a great night. The drinks were flowing.
What's your ideal taco
flowing.
Toppings?
Oh, mine? Okay, yeah. I got the go-tos.
Yeah.
So obviously we're doing ground beef with all the seasonings. I like to season my shit up. Lettuce, sour cream. I am a humongous sour cream advocate. And now I'm going back to the jam like enthusiasm right now. Right. I think I just love condiments. Yes. I think I fucking love condiments.
Condiments are important.
They're so important, and
it ruins the whole meal. If you like, there's sometimes I'll order something, or if I make something at home and I open my fridge and I'm like, oh my God, I'm out of like the hot sauce that I always put with this specific food, is ruined.
Day ruiner. Day ruiner. Or like if you go through a drive-through and they forget the sauce because they act like the sauce is coming out of their paycheck and they won't give it to you. Day ruiner. So I'm a big condiment fan. So sour cream on there. I fucking love sour cream. I like a little bit of either like a taco sauce or a hot sauce. Shredded cheese. What else? That's the
salsa,
classic.
pico de gallo.
I like that on the side with some
salsa
chips.
Verde.
I like salsa on the side with my chips, so not necessarily on the taco. Because if I'm already putting the sour cream and the hot sauce on there, then I'm staying away from the salsa on the taco.
I like a pico de gallo like on my taco.
Yeah, I could see that. Of course, mix it up a little once in a while.
You know, Joe likes a mango salsa.
Oh, I love a mango salsa. I didn't get that this time, but oh my God, I do appreciate. Or a pineapple salsa. I could really get on board with that. Yeah,
a little sweet.
A little sweet, spicy, savory combo.
So everybody was a fan of the taco night.
Everyone had a great time at taco night.
Did you make the margaritas yourself as well?
It was a joint effort.
Okay.
You know, we did strawberry margaritas.
Yum.
So, you know, we had different stations. I cut up the strawberries, somebody muddled the strawberries, then somebody did the mixing. You know, we had a station going. So that was delish.
I feel like I'm back in Cabo. It's like an all-inclusive resort.
I know. You had to get a theme going. I started off by playing Margaritaville. You got to stay on theme.
Yep.
And then Saturday was just like a sneaky beautiful day, which on the weather app, it was saying that it was going to be cloudy and rainy or whatever. It was
gorgeous.
67 degrees and freaking sunny as hell.
Yeah.
And so we said, we got to get to the bar. We got to get out there. We got to see what the world is doing on this fine day. Got dressed, went to the bars. Then that was during the day. Then went to dinner at night. Got home, watched a movie on the couch. It was like a day filled with it all.
What'd you watch?
Ocean's 13, which I'm saving for a weekly watch report. And then Sunday, which woke up feeling well rested because not too hungover because the bars during the day. Woke up feeling well rested, and I went to the gym, and then we started a new show. Then I cooked dinner.
That's my preferred way of also going out now.
Yes.
It's like I want to be home by 8 o'clock.
Right, and then you snuggled up.
Yep.
But we have discovered this new market near our apartment.
Oh, you were the one you were posting.
Yes.
Have they noticed you yet, or
no?
Okay,
but that's
so
okay. But I would love to become a regular.
Yeah.
We went there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Oh my gosh!
Like
the sandwich that
the sandwiches are unbelievable. Okay, but that's just not all.
What was on that sandwich that you posted?
It was
you shared.
That wasn't my sandwich. Yeah, it was porchetta.
Yeah.
It wasn't my sandwich.
Okay.
I don't know all the details of that sandwich, but I had a little prosciutto.
Yeah.
Mozzarella and spicy fig jam on a sandwich, which was
your
to die for. So besides the sandwiches, this market.
It's just like an Italian market.
It's an Italian market.
Yeah, I love an Italian market.
The meats, the cheeses, homemade pasta, everything. Yeah. It has everything. We went back 3 days in a row, and each day we got something new. I'm obsessed with this market. Yesterday, because our friends were visiting, and they were going back home on Sunday, and they were so upset to leave because they were like, the fact that we can't wake up and go to the market again tomorrow morning is a travesty. And I said,
I hope they stocked up.
I said, the fact that we all have to wake up tomorrow and live our day not going to the market after going 3 days in a row is so fucking upsetting.
Is it walkable from your apartment?
We could.
Yeah.
But we've been driving. But when it gets really nice out, we were like, oh my God, we can't wait to walk to the market. Like it feels like a TV show plot where they find a new store and they can't stop going or talking about this market. Like I know nobody probably cares about this market I'm talking about because not many people can go to it.
Yeah.
But you can relate to having a store in your town that is just your go-to that you discover.
Specifically an Italian market.
Specifically a deli or an Italian market has changed our lives. Yeah. Like we can't stop talking about this damn market. So yeah, fantastic weekend, and shout out Cangiano's in Jersey City. I wasn't gonna say the name.
Say, you better get some stuff.
No, listen. I want to pay for everything because it's that good, you know. Fair. So how was your weekend?
Well, I have one more thing to follow up to ask you because I saw you posted, and I was about to write back to you, and then I was like, I'll just bring it up on the show. But you posted your hair last night.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm getting frustrated for the people. I can only imagine, like, you're kind of being a bitch. Like, to be completely honest. The girls must be like, all right, Rhea, now that's just fucking rude. How many times do we have to ask you to do a hair tutorial? Now you're just rubbing it in everyone's faces. You're like, look at my beautiful, luscious hair. Look at the curls I just have. Haha, joke's on you. You're never getting the hair tutorial.
That's not what this is, okay? I will say, a girl messaged me and was like, you're really towing the line between, like, I want your hair or you're a gatekeeping bitch. And I was like, I'm not gatekeeping anything. I don't
do the tutorial.
But here's the thing: I'm gonna do the tutorial, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, that's it." It's like every other tutorial online. Like,
but you know what? You'll say I did it.
I'm gonna be like, at least I did it. I'm
like, look, it's here, it's done. I did it.
I'm afraid of letting the people down because I don't have a specific like hair routine. People think I have some magic potion.
Yeah, but they just want to watch you curl your hair, you know? And you're not like doing anything special, but they just want to watch you curl your hair. Let them watch you curl their hair.
I want it to be known I'm not gatekeeping. I don't want to let the people down.
Okay, but would you rather have them think that you're just gatekeeping bitch?
Yeah. No, I don't. I don't want them to think that. I'm not a gatekeeping bitch.
Just be like, look, this is what I do. Take it or leave it.
Here's what I do. It's literally like people are just gonna be like, oh,
right. Look, you can be like, look, you could have just Googled hair curling tutorial on YouTube and found exactly what I do.
And I'm not saying that to be like, oh, just go Google someone else. I'm just saying
there's
like
special things that you do that you don't even realize you do.
I don't. And here's like the really nasty part of it all is that like I just want to say, like, my mom has fantastic hair, and I think she's passed it down to me.
Does go through the mother's side.
My mom has my sister has fantastic hair, and
we all know you have good genes.
Unfortunately, I think I was blessed with some really good hair genes, and people are like, how you get that volume, how you get that curl. I have naturally wavy hair, so when I curl, it stays, you know? You see, now I'm like humble bragging.
You fucking suck.
Right. No, I know. Now it sounds like I'm like, if only you were born with my mother's genes.
Sorry, not everyone can have naturally wavy, voluminous locks that just curl and just spring into the perfect curl.
I'll do the tutorial.
Just do it. This is the thing. You gotta just do it because the way you should have seen the breath I sucked in when I saw those stories. I went, ooh, she's doing it to him.
You should have seen my messages. It's not.
I could only imagine. I almost messaged you being like, girl,
Yeah.
What are you doing?
It's not complimentary anymore. It's I'm just getting yelled at. Yes. So I will do the tutorial this week.
Just do it, because then you can always say when people rail on you to be like, oh, you'd be like, look, I did the tutorial.
I did the tutorial, and guess what? You were let down.
Yeah.
If I do this tutorial, everybody better fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Everybody better watch this damn tutorial and like and comment. Because if I post this tutorial and there's like...
And it flops.
You know what that'll do to my self-esteem? It won't be good. It won't be good, ladies and gentlemen.
Let me tell you something. The people will watch it.
So look out this week.
I can almost put a guarantee on that.
See, I just need a little motivation. So
I think you should do it.
Okay, thanks.
100%. And you can say, I did it, guys.
Yeah. Here it is.
This is it.
There it is.
This is what I'm doing.
This is real. This is me.
Yeah.
This is exactly who I'm supposed to be.
Got a Dyson, though.
I did get a Dyson.
And you like it better than the Shark.
I do. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been Team Dyson for a while, but I also never tried the Shark, but I've always really liked my Dyson.
So I'll be honest. I tried the Shark, the other attachments for the Shark, like maybe a couple times, and I wasn't thrilled, but I loved like the brush aspect of the Shark. And then I would just like curl my hair. Yeah. Nah, the Dyson's where it's at. Those curl attachments. Yeah. Woof. Yeah.
They do the trick.
They do. I'm Team Dyson now. Thanks for having me on board.
Yeah.
Thanks for welcoming on the ship. Yes. Thank you for having me, and tutorial to come.
Yeah.
How was your weekend?
It was great. Nobody's asking me for my hair tutorial, but I did my own hair on Friday, and I was very impressed with myself.
It looked fabulous.
Thank you. See, my problem is my hair does not hold a curl at all. So I basically curl a piece, douse it in hairspray, curl another piece, douse it in hairspray.
Yeah.
And it still doesn't really stay. But no, I had a lovely weekend Friday. Joe and I took engagement photos.
Gorgeous.
Only 9 months after getting engaged, which, you know what? It is what it is.
It's not
I thought
about,
people are going to be like, what? So long? But it was...
Well, it's not about, I think, how long after, because I'm not taking mine until July.
Yeah.
It's more how soon before your wedding.
Yeah, right.
Because you could take your you know what I'm saying? I think it's
no. I'm inside 6 months now. So.
Right, but still, you should have them and do them whenever. You know what I'm saying?
Well, my thing too was like I wanted to do them in New York. I didn't really necessarily want to have to travel or do any we've just been so busy. I was like, I'd love to do them in New York. So you really have to wait for the weather to be nice. Once I missed the fall window, it was like, well,
now you gotta wait for the spring.
I gotta wait at least 6 months.
And honestly,
for it to start to get nice out. And I'm glad I did, because
good thing you did.
We went to Central Park, and I was stalking the Central Park cherry blossom tracker for the last 2 weeks, being like, these trees better be popping off still. And one by one, I started to see the different locations turn to post peak. I was like, no. But there was one spot that stayed peak.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, there was a lot of other people that also had the same idea as me when we walked up. I was like, oh, a lot of people taking pictures, but well worth it.
The pictures are...
Oh my God. One of them looks like a movie poster. It looks like if, you know the When Harry Met Sally movie poster with the lamppost and the leaves are falling in the fall? Now, if you just were to transform that into the spring... That's what that picture looks like.
The one from afar where you're sitting on the bench
with the big tree
is perfect. It's so fucking perfect.
I will share some of them. But she fucking crushed it.
So good.
I was so my photographer Emma, she is Michigan based, and we connected on Instagram. She came to do the pictures. She's my wedding photographer as well, which was really nice. We got to meet and hang out and just get a good little back and forth and
get a little chemistry going.
I'm obsessed with her. She is so cute. And her pictures are just absolutely stunning.
My jaw was on the floor
she
when you sent them.
She was like, here's the previews. Let me know what you think. I wrote back to her. I was like, I'm flabbergasted.
Yeah,
they're gorgeous.
They're amazing.
Yeah. So Joe was laughing and he was talking to his friends about it too, because I think a lot of times any couple takes photos like this or engagement photos, whatever. The photographer is like, all right, guy, you got one job. Just look at her.
Yeah.
Hold her, look at her. So Joe was funny because he was telling everyone he wasn't allowed to look at the camera.
Basically a prop.
Yes. It's like, this is my photo shoot with him, close by.
Yeah.
No, it was really fun.
They're
it was
gorgeous.
Really nice. We did Central Park. We also did the Met Steps, which was fun, kind of like little Gossip Girl dream.
So
Blair Waldorf.
Yeah.
Yes. Which was really, really nice. and
they're
we
fucking
went out to
gorgeous.
dinner, and it was really, really nice. Saturday was a gorgeous day, like you said.
I'm so glad you took those pictures.
I know, so
I'm
am I.
so happy you did, because I was getting nervous that you
Same.
weren't going to take them.
Yeah, and also like all week you were texting me like, "What are you wearing?" And I was like, I don't know.
I'm kind of annoying when it comes to that stuff, because I'm just like on top, like,
Yeah.
because I just want you to do the things that you will be so happy about after you do them, and it worked out perfectly.
Right. You were just slightly being like, "Fran, it's Wednesday. You don't have an outfit." I'm like, I know. No, but it worked out. And Sunday, I mean, I talked about it, but Bridget, one of our best friends, is moving to Miami. And I've been in denial about it a little bit, not accepting it fully. But we had her going away party on Sunday, which was a lot of fun. But we're just like, we're in kind of joking, "Oh my God, you're moving to Miami," and then like eventually we'll get sad about it.
And then
but
she like actually is.
I know,
kind of perfect timing.
I
this
know.
week.
I know. We sat down and we were like, okay, look, there's we have all these things coming up, and we have trips and birthdays and weddings. Like, we're gonna see her a lot, but it's just not the same.
It's not the same of being able to just meet up at the bar.
It's just not the same.
And Bridget, I think, is probably the first friend of yours that I met.
Yeah.
Bridget and Lauren,
probably.
They're, they're top tier. They are top tier friends.
Yeah.
Let me just tell you.
Noah chuckled because he agrees. Yeah, they are top tier friends. They love Noah too.
They're great. And
it's been funny because everyone's like worried about Lauren. They've lived together for a long time, so everyone's like, "Lauren, like, everyone's just been joking that we're just gonna blink,
even
and Lauren's like in Miami. We're gonna be like, what?" She's like, I don't know, I just had to move to
I just asked you about Lauren right before. I was like, what's Lauren doing?
Yeah, everyone's like, is she gonna be okay?
Yeah. But no, it's sad, but like kind of the perfect kickoff for, because your bachelorette is this week. Yes. I'm so fucking excited.
I know. Same.
Oh my God, we're gonna have the best time. Same. But on top of that, Bridget's moving this week, and then your bachelorette's in Miami, and it's kind of like a kickoff. At least she has something to do in Miami.
Well, we just said
the first week.
It's gonna be funny because we're all gonna be leaving, and it's Bridget who's gonna be the one like still. We're gonna be like, okay, bye, Bridget.
Right. You're staying here.
Yep.
But yeah, so excited for that this week. We will
very excited.
We'll be recording it from Florida on Thursday, but the festivities won't have begun yet.
Yeah.
So like we won't have much to share on Thursday.
Yeah.
But that Monday episode
we'll be hurt birds on Monday.
We will be hurt
for sure, but we'll be in studio. That could be a sunglasses episode.
We might have to dress how we are for one of the nights on Monday.
Just redress.
Yeah, repurpose the outfits. But that's going to be
two drastically different themes.
Yeah.
So
right, that's going to be a blast. And I'm excited to get into the hot Miami sun.
Yeah.
Although we must lather in sunscreen, because I saw Alex Earl post on her TikTok that she was in the sun and got severely sunburned in Miami, and I was like, "What are you nuts?" Also, it's just like. Sorry, I'm not to be that old, like the old grumpy like lady, but put fucking sunscreen on. Like I'm sorry, it's 2024. You gotta know, you must have sunscreen on you at all times. You're gonna get tan regardless.
You live in Miami,
right?
How is sunscreen not like in your bag permanently?
Right, because everyone's like, "Oh, that first sun of the, I just want to get crisp." It's like, no, you don't. You want to play the long game.
Yep.
You do not want to play the short game where you're out the first night.
No,
that's miserable.
No, and then it ruins the whole weekend because then you're hot. You don't sleep well.
Yeah.
The sun gives you a headache.
Right.
Especially when you're drinking.
You start feeling like you got the flu.
Yes. You're lying in bed and you're just on fire. Mm-hmm. And then you've also been drinking, so like your head slightly hurts already.
You ever get a sunburn where it feels like you worked out like for 5 hours?
Yes.
Like your body's like incredibly sore.
Yes.
Yeah, no, you don't want to be in that spot.
No.
But super excited for this week. So let's get through the rest of the podcast.
Yeah. I just want to speed through the whole week, to be honest.
I know. I was like, this weekend, it was like such a great weekend, and my friends were like, "Oh, what do you do next week?" And I was like, it's Fran's bachelorette in Miami, and they were like, "Oh, that's sick." They're like, "That is gonna be a time."
I've been hitting the appointments, like doing stuff before self-care and whatnot. I went and got a lash lift on Saturday. Let me tell you something. It did nothing. I don't know what the girlies are talking about with the lash lifts. Maybe because I didn't do it with a tint. But I'm like, I have dark eyelashes already. And it's expensive. I was like, I'll just do the lash lift. I left and was like, meanwhile, she put the mirror in my face. I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God, this lift is outrageous.
I walk down the street, I'm looking at myself, I'm like, these look the same.
I guess it's just not having to curl them.
But I still have to curl them. They're they're not like, I thought it was gonna give the effect of when you curl your lashes and then you don't have to curl your lashes.
Yeah.
But maybe slight turn up. And that was it. I was like, well, that was the biggest waste of money I've ever spent.
Maybe all your hair is the same in that it maybe doesn't hold a curl that well.
So that's the thing. I did actually Google it, and I was I was on Reddit, people talking about their lash lifts, and they were like, I think it's like people who get a perm on their head, and if your hair like doesn't really hold a curl that well, you don't get the same outcome. And they were comparing that to their eyelashes, and I was like, damn,
could be
that's probably the scenario that I'm in. Just doesn't hold a curl. Eyelash, hair, everything.
Yeah, that could be the case. So, do you know?
So pointless.
They look beautiful.
Well, I curled them and put mascara on. So,
do you know in COVID, my dad was doing my mom and my sister's lash lifts?
What? You can do them at home?
Yeah,
he was gluing their eyelashes to their lids.
They got the kits and stuff, and my dad was he learned. One thing about my dad is that he loves to learn how to do things.
Oh my God.
And so he learned how to do a lash lift.
I love that so much.
And was giving my mom and sister lash lifts during COVID.
I notice your mom's eyelashes.
Yeah, she's got.
And they look great, but here we go, back to the good genetics. Clearly their eyelashes curl just like your hair. So, joke's on me.
Just picture my mom laying down on the bed, and my dad doing
with the friggin' he's got the little tweezers. He's separating each individual lash.
Literally though. One time I FaceTimed them, and I remember this specifically during COVID, and he was like, "What, Ree? I'm doing your mom's lash lift." I was like, "What the fuck is going on?"
That is fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't think I realized he was doing that. That is amazing.
Yeah, he's a jack of all trades.
I love that.
Yeah.
God, I love that.
Well, I'm glad that you got your lash lift, and I'm sorry that it didn't work out in the way that you wished.
I mean, there was like a little bit of an effect, but I can't guarantee I'll be going back for more.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I gave up on all lash extracurriculars years ago.
Well, because did you do extensions?
I used to, and my eyes are kind of like, I don't know how to describe them. I guess almond shaped, like whatever. That when I was getting the lash extensions, my eyes just looked like they had caterpillars on them and like half closed. And I gotta be honest, and I don't want to offend the girls out there that have lash extensions and they love them. Sometimes when I see somebody with lash extensions versus not lash extensions, I'm like, oh my God, your natural eyelashes are so beautiful. Yeah. Why are you doing the extensions? But some people love how they look and they love the way they feel with them. But I had to tell my mom, I was like, Mom, it looks like they're crawling off your eyes. Like just peel it back a little bit. Like she was going like a little overboard with the extensions. And I was like, let's just,
I was going to say there's a line. There is a natural way. And there's a natural line, and I do think your mom crossed it a little bit.
She did. She was crossing it a little bit. I was like, oh my God, these are jumping off your face.
Yeah.
You're so naturally beautiful. You don't have to do that, Mom.
Here they go.
Literally like, oh my God, there they go. They're off to the races, crawling off your face. She's beautiful.
No, there's
to do that.
And there's, you can, that's why I was like, oh, I'll get a lift and see if it does anything. And it didn't really, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Yep.
At least you tried.
Yep.
All right, let's move on to the rest of the episode. Obviously, we are going to be talking about Taylor Swift's new album.
T Swift.
The Tortured Poets Department.
Not Society.
Not
I still am having an issue. Like, I keep calling it Society.
Society. We'll be talking about the album, and we have weekly watch report on Monday. So let's just get into it. Why don't we?
I mean, hey, there's a lot of songs.
There's a lot of songs to dive into. Okay. Mother's Day is around the corner. It's only a couple weeks away, so you got to start thinking about the mother figures in your life. What are you going to get them?
Yeah.
What are you going to get them for Mother's Day?
Because a lot of them, you're like, oh my gosh, they have it all. Or,
they have it all.
You want to
ask
get them something special.
Right, or you ask them what they want. They say, oh, don't get me anything. Just some flowers. No. You got to get them something, and you need to look at Macy's. Macy's has everything galore that you could want for Mother's Day. They have the perfect gift guide to make Mother's Day special and perfect for.
And it helps with shopping,
it
like
definitely
just having
does.
Some guidance of categories and which avenue to go
you
down.
Can have fragrance,
so helpful.
Makeup. A good perfume is always nice. My mom loves trying out a new perfume, so gifting her a nice fragrance. And you can also shop by price. You could do 25 and under. Maybe you want to splurge a little bit. You can go above that. Gifts that are already wrapped and ready to go for Mother's Day as well. So some top gifts that you can get are the Dolce & Gabbana perfume. My mom actually is a dedicated user of Dolce & Gabbana for years of my life.
Their perfumes are fantastic.
I may restock her on that. There are tons of other gifts that you can look forward to.
Great kitchen stuff.
There's kitchen appliances. Right now we're looking in the beauty and fragrance section.
So that's where our mind is.
So my mind is very much on the fact that I think I'm going to, my mom is a dedicated user, but I also think I might surprise her with a new fragrance. I know that your mom, had a couple of requests for something on the Macy's site.
She did. She was browsing. She sent some choices, some self-care choices.
Yeah, which is always good. The self-care section for moms, they put in all the work for us. So make sure you're shopping at Macy's.com. And also you can head to a Macy's store and shop in store, because sometimes being in the store, which is what I feel right now because we're in the store, you see the gifts in front of you, you're like, that would be perfect, and you grab it. So shop Macy's for all of your Mother's Day needs.
If you need some guidance, you can go to Macy's.com/gift finder. It'll lead you in the right direction.
There you go. All right, let's dive into Taylor Swift's latest album, The Tortured Poets Department. This was released on Friday. She surprised everybody at 2 o'clock in the morning, said, boom, this is going to be a double album, 31 songs coming your way. The anthology, she called it, where she then released, why didn't nobody else pick up on this? This is always the case, with Midnights, the 3 a.m. tracks. Right. It was oh, here's more songs.
Yeah, I think people were expecting more music. A lot of people thought maybe she was just going to drop Reputation, Taylor's version, at the same time as well. But a full Midnight, a full extra album, 31 songs.
He's crazy. That's
so many songs.
So many songs.
It took me the full weekend to really get through it enough times where I felt comfortable really even saying I listened. Because you go through it once and then it happened so fast. I saw people joking. They were tweeting I'm sorry, Fortnite came out years ago. By the time they got by the time you get to the manuscript, you're like, wait, what was even the beginning of the album? So you kind of have to split it up or listen to it in parts. And I think the Tortured Poets Department and the anthology have different sounds too. So
I do want to say that we were going to ask Kelly and Gia to come on, but we realized Kelly's away hunting. She's turkey hunting with Sydney Wells, who also works at Barstool, does Barstool Outdoors.
We're also in the we've had it set for this to be.
But Macy's. You can go watch Taylor Watch on YouTube, where they did a full album review, song by song,
full gut reaction.
Yes,
first listen reaction,
which
is always a different feeling.
So you can go watch that on YouTube. And Kelly also wrote a blog.
Yes.
Breaking down all the lyrics. So we're going to do our own discussion on it. But if you want a very, very in-depth analysis in the way that Gia and Kelly Keys go through it, then you can go watch their YouTube video and Kelly's blog.
The videos of them were cracking me up. Specifically in, oh God. I'm not even going to remember which song it. Maybe The Smallest Man Who Ever. One of the Maddie ones. And the line about having kids with an internet starlet, and then she throws Maroon in there, and Kelly's face. I thought she was gonna have a stroke. It's very entertaining to watch. Very good, obviously. Highly recommend for that. In depth analysis. But there's really a lot to to discuss
now,
when it comes to this album.
Before we discuss the whole album, I want to know your thoughts on the album itself.
It's good. I think that now everyone pull up your jeans, get ready. Get ready. I think that I qualify myself as a Swiftie. I think we jump to say anytime she puts out a new album, we jump to be like, no, this is the best album she's ever put out. And it feels like after every album, we're like, no, this is the best album to come out. Yeah. Slow down.
Right.
I think it's great. I think it is a great album. I don't know if it's necessarily the best one she's put out. Yeah, shocking.
Right. And can I just say,
I'm like, okay. It's good, and I'm enjoying it, and I like it a lot.
It's okay to say that.
Right, like, it doesn't have to be what I think is the best.
And I think that's where my problem lies sometimes, because we've talked about this. I need to really digest albums, especially when it comes to Taylor Swift albums. Like, I think the lyrics grow on you. Certain songs.
Midnights, it took me like 6 months.
Yeah, Midnights I ended up really loving, but it took a couple listens. And you also need like songs to sometimes register in what you're going through at a certain point. Then you begin to like that song better, and lyrics hit you in different spots at different times in your life. Like, I wholeheartedly believe that about most of her albums. So for this one, I was like, I think I really there's 31 songs. I think I just really need to listen to it a lot more times there's a couple where I could say right off the bat, these are like the ones I like the most. I will say this, and this is what scares me, is that it feels like you aren't allowed to, because obviously she is one of the most talented people on this entire planet, and the fact that she even has 31 songs to release with this amount of lyrics is insane. Her talent is unmatched.
Lyrically, I think this is her best.
Right. But if it almost feels like you aren't allowed to say, oh, this isn't my favorite. And you know what? I'm gonna have to I'm gonna just have to be honest and be like, no, I wasn't like, holy fuck, I fucking love this album. Like, that wasn't my initial reaction upon listening. But I do expect it to grow on me. Yeah. That was just first off reactions.
And absolutely, it will 100%. It always does. I also think, not to be those assholes, but this is an album with a lot of heartbreak and sadness, and I personally am like, I can respect a sad girl song, and I get it, like, and girls like will fucking die over a sad girl song. I'm not necessarily the biggest sad girl song gal, and like I said, gonna come off as assholes, but we're both like getting married.
I had the same thought. And I didn't want to say it the other day.
In love.
I didn't want to say this the other day.
And there's the Travis songs, I'm like, yes.
Right, I'm like kicking my feet.
But it's, and like I said, coming off as an asshole, I totally get it. But this is where Taylor was in her life, writing these songs, getting it out there. Her like long relationship with Joe, clearly there was way more to the Maddie Healy situation than we all realized. But for me, it's just like I get it, and I know that she has to like get through that. But for me, like the anthology, I'm like, oh gosh, I feel sad. Like it's sad, sad songs, sad songs. But really, truly, I think that this is one of her most vulnerable and lyrically amazing albums that she's put out, in the sense that I really do think this is the most vulnerable she's been in her songwriting, because it felt extremely transparent.
Yeah, it was almost like she was just spelling everything out very clearly.
I really felt like she was closing a chapter with this album, and she kind of said like Tortured Poets Department, the whole thing, whatever. She's had 31 songs to put out. But it felt like she's like, all right, this time in my life and this era and these relationships, like putting it all out there. This is everything I had about it. And like, I don't know, just the way it ends, like with the manuscript, and it looks like a look back of how her life has gone and her relationships have gone. And then it just kind of like ends, and it's like, okay, we're moving on from that time.
Yeah, and she wrote that on her Instagram too. She was like, these stories are now yours. Like, I'm closing that chapter. I think that the most shocking part of it all was that there was a lot about Maddie Healy, and I don't think anybody ever expected that. Apparently, this was like a 10-year-long situationship that I think kind of just went over everybody's heads. They had previously dated in 2014 when he was 25 years old, and Taylor Swift was seen wearing the 1975 t-shirt, and I think that maybe they had a little fling, and clearly that ended. She started dating Joe, and that went on for 6 years, and then, you know, fresh out the slammer, she's like, who am I gonna call? Maddie Healy. And that was a rise and fall pretty quickly.
I could not believe it. And I guess, you know, this goes back to you know, even seeing how like Kelly and Gia were reacting when they were first hearing some of these lyrics, because she does reference past songs too. It feels like that you're like, holy shit, that song was about Maddie Healy?
Yeah.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? And it makes a lot of sense now too, because obviously we all felt that Maddie's situationship that just happened was like a rebound type thing. But the way they jumped into it so fast, now it totally makes sense that they had all that groundwork, all those years of knowing each other. So when she finally got out of that Joe relationship, it was like, here he is. Oh my God, could it finally all be working now for this to be the case and for this to like actually happen? And they took it, you know, obviously they took it public.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, like, a cardigan, like we were like, shit, was like a lot of midnights about Matt, like it was crazy.
What are your thoughts on people saying that if Maddie Healy turned around tomorrow and proposed to her, that she'd run off with him and leave Travis?
Devastating, but like from what I digested from this album, it's not impossible. Like, it's not like, I don't know, clearly that's really hard. Those are some deep feelings that you've had for a long time, somebody who's known you for a long time. And
have you ever seen people talk about the fact that, like, you know, a years-long breakup can almost be easier to get over, because a lot of times before somebody, you know, years long before you break up, you kind of have like grieved that relationship, like you kind of know it's ending, whereas like a situationship type of thing, it's almost like a what could have been, and because you don't really know what that could have flourished into, it's almost harder to get over. Like,
absolutely,
people talk about that.
Yes, and I totally like can see that, and I do think it. You know, people were like, "Damn, Joe thought this album was, you know, going to be about him, and it was 6 years, and it was serious." And the Joe songs are very serious, and they were in a very committed relationship. But I don't know, I relate to that a lot, just even in my own life, past relationships. Like, I've definitely had like full-blown relationships that I like closed the door on, it was done, I never really looked back, compared to people that have kind of popped in my life at different times, but like consistently for a long time, and I always thought, gosh, you know, like you kind of end up thinking about those situations more. So I totally get that, and I relate to that a lot.
It seems like that was the case here with Maddie Healy, where like even throughout her 6-year-long relationship, she was like, okay, this is ending, who am I calling? It's Maddie Healy. Will things work out this time around? Has he changed? No, he hasn't. And it seems like maybe he made some empty promises to her, you know, maybe even talks of a future of marriage and kids. It's probably, you know, fresh and exciting, and then boom, done again.
What I also loved about this album is that it really did feel like she was pulling from past songs, past stories that she's told, and that's also why I feel like she was closing this chapter, where it's like, but it felt like she referenced a lot of songs that felt like they connected to Lover, songs that connected to Midnight's references, even just sounds. I was like, wow, this really sounds like this song or this, like, so I thought everything was connected really, really well. And yeah, like I said, these aren't songs that you're gonna be blasting in your car with the windows down in like the nice weather. Some of them are, don't get me wrong, some of them definitely are, but a lot of them are way more like introspective and thinking about her life, and they're little, you know,
and I think that's why I maybe wasn't just like totally obsessed with it this weekend. Like I don't think I was in that zone. I was love walking a good pump up song. Yeah. And I was walking to Macy's and I was listening to I Can Do It With a Broken Heart. And I was like bopping, but at the same time, like it's still sad. It's still sad, right? Still sad. That's definitely one of my favorites. I will say, and I also hate to be that person because I know people are going to get pissed off at me, but I have to be truthfully honest. A lot of the songs I think sounded the same. Yeah. Like they were all flowing into each other, and I'm like, these all have very similar sounds where I'm not going to the next song around a little bit. And going, ooh, this one's a little different, like it kind of all sounded like very, very similar each song. And so that was kind of losing me a little bit as well.
I agree. Here, my trick for that too is I think because sometimes Taylor, she obviously very strategically places songs in an album and they are meant to go into the next song and you listen to it start to finish. But if you kind of mix it around a little bit, it's, I think, easier to digest the individual songs. Like when there's 3, 4, 5 songs in a row during a part of the anthology that you kind of like you're like, wait, what song is this one again? But once you kind of like jump back and forth a little bit or take a break, then I just think it's way easier to like digest the song and listen to what she's saying.
Listen,
and
it's a huge album, and it's going to take a while for people to digest, and I think that's the case. But 31 songs, you can't just right off the bat go, there's going to be a different favorite, a different day. You're going to learn more about the lyrics. Yeah. It's not one of those albums that you just digest in a weekend. You go, here it is. Yep. Like it's a body of work. Yeah, it really is.
It is. So let's talk about some songs. Yeah, I know it's we won't go into too deep into the depths. Yeah. Like we said, how many times do we say it? 31 songs. But the first song is also the first single, so it's the music video she released, Fortnite with Post Malone. Music video was great. I thought very like Poor Things-esque, which I loved because she and Emma Stone are very close friends, and I felt like she probably drew a lot of inspiration from that. And Ethan Hawke and Josh Charles are also in it, and they were in Dead Poet Society, so I liked that little reference as well. But Taylor and Post Malone really sound great together. I thought like their voices meshed very well.
I liked this song.
Post Malone is really so great. Like
he's having the best year out of anyone.
He can really. Hey Noah. He can really transform to all genres. I feel like he has his own sound, and then on the Beyonce song, it fits so well with Beyonce. On this song, it fits so well here. He really has that ability, which is cool. So, I mean, I like Fortnite. She references being, like, if she is talking about herself in this, there is, like, a line of, like, I was a functioning alcoholic till nobody noticed my new aesthetic. And I do recall people being, like, the rumors on the street of Taylor, they were like, oh, she can kind of throw them back.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, maybe she just likes a good time.
Yeah. Yep. Tortured Poets Department has a title track, full song. She references typewriters, all those things. You know what's crazy now too is the social media directors of these like magazines or interview, like whoever, they're digging into the archives and they're reposting things. Like somebody resurfaced the interview that Matty Healy did, where he's like, I love typewriters and like I love pop stars and I do this. Same with I think maybe the New Heights, like TikTok posted a video of Travis doing an impression of their dad, and then and this is like, do the impression of your dad again. So there's people are like, oh, let's
finding everything. Let's find these. It's kind of amazing and a little bit scary how people can find these things.
I also love the mention of the Chelsea Hotel in this song, just because it's very close to my apartment and I do go there.
Probably going to be hard to get a reservation after that.
Yep. Yeah, that was another thing. Well, we'll get to it, but same thing with the Black Dog. Like, people have been flooding the Black Dog. People
London,
where it's crazy. I've saw the TikToks of people going to like actually see the to see the bar.
I know. The people at the bar are like looking through all the security footage to try to find.
To see when they were there. Yeah. I was like, shit, do I have to go there when I go back?
You should.
Just to check out.
It's just, it is crazy. I mean, like you listen to the songs, but when you really, like I said before, and I'm going to probably say it a million times, but when you read through the lyrics, it really is just like, these are some heartbreaking lyrics of things, like really tough moments, and you just can tell how much she really wants that ending of marriage and kids and that life, and how it's just kind of been dangled in front of her, just out of grasp. Like there's a line in Torture Poets Department. She says, at dinner you take my ring off my middle finger and put it on the one people put wedding rings on, and that's the closest I've come to my heart exploding. She goes into my boy only breaks his favorite toys. This one for me was it's just like kind of in the mix.
What about the Charlie Puth?
The Charlie Puth, yeah.
So that line was confusing because people were like, she was dissing Charlie Puth, but I don't think so. I don't think she was, because they were like, people were writing, she's saying that they're high, making fun of Charlie Puth. Like, only a high person would say Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist. But she didn't say we're high. She said you smoked, and then we talked about how Charlie Puth should be a bigger artist. So I actually think she meant that.
I do too.
And she commented on Charlie Puth's TikToks back in 2021 about, it was like him playing the piano. So like, I actually think she meant that.
Yeah.
I just laughed because I'm like, imagine Charlie Puth. Do you think that he knew that he was going to be mentioned?
No.
Or he just like woke up and was like, what the fuck?
I would think that just came about.
And he was probably like, what the hell?
Yeah. Down Bad, love this one. I'm a big fan of Down Bad. It's just very, very catchy.
Yep.
Now I'm down. Sorry, you know what used to be so fun is when we could listen to these and talk about them at the same time.
That was the best.
That was the good old days.
I know, but let's not talk, because then it's sad that we can't
I know. Okay. Anyway, moving on. Down Bad also, I feel like, is such a good reference to, coming out of a breakup, you're back to that situationship, and you're just, our girl's down bad. So Long London was a
This
track
is one 5.
of
my favorites.
Beautiful
And it's not because
song.
I'm like London biased. This is really one of my favorite. I think it might be my favorite, actually, because I also I Could Do It With a Broken Heart, but I think So Long London is probably my favorite.
All her track 5s, we all know they're the most emotional, and this one obviously feels that way. And like we said, it just feels like with this album, super transparent. There's not a lot of guessing games. I know people have gone back and forth with some songs, like, is this Joe? Is this Maddie? I mean, this one is so clearly Joe. It's, very, very obvious. But another one that's just an absolute gut punch for her to be saying goodbye to the relationship, and how much she was dying to hold on to it and tried everything. My white knuckle dying grip holding tight to your quiet resentment. She's holding on to him so hard, but she can't even really tell if this is what he wants,
It seemed like he was struggling.
Yeah.
I think there were some references to him maybe struggling a little bit, so that could also be the case.
Yeah. You swore that you loved me, but where were the clues? I died on the altar waiting for the proof. You sacrificed us to the gods of your bluest days, and I'm just getting color back into my face, and I'm just mad as hell because I love this place.
She really just loved London.
No, she really did.
Damn.
She probably will never go back.
No, I know. And then Maddie too.
Well, she's actually going back to London soon.
Well, I think that's why. And then Travis said on his podcast,
yeah, Travis was
excited
I'm going
for
to London.
He's
like, I gotta go to London.
I gotta be on guard for London.
I have to be at the London one.
It must be. I think that's also why people are getting confused with Joe and Maddie's, because it's both London.
Yeah.
So there could be some cross references there. That's why they're was it Joe at the Black Dog or was it Maddie at the Black Dog?
Was London boy, but it's crazy. That was really we were I'm truly listening to some of these lyrics. I was like, oh my God, it's kind of freaking Maddie Healy was so much more involved than we all thought.
If you think about it, it's kind of like a rom-com where you have the good boy from London and the bad boy from London.
Yeah.
Which does she go with? Oh no, the football player appears from America.
Right. I mean, she really covers all her bases with those 3.
The stereotypes. Yeah. Tortured poet.
Tortured, like
bad boy artist.
Maddie Healy loves drugs.
Yeah, rock star artist.
Joe Alwyn, pretty boy, blonde, theater.
Yeah, theater
actor.
kid.
And Travis,
football player, meathead,
incredibly American. Beer.
Yeah.
Vegas.
Sports.
Super Bowl. Yeah. But Daddy, I love him. We're back to Maddie again. This one really just felt like a message to all of us.
The fans.
Like it was to all, but Daddy, I love him. But it was really just like, because when she went public with Maddie, it was public outcry of like there were petitions to like get her to break up with him.
It's almost embarrassing.
Yeah.
You know, like people have to be like a little bit embarrassed, like when they hear a song, they're like, oh damn, like she actually doesn't give a fuck. In the nicest way possible. She really doesn't care that her fans are going to be mad that she's dating somebody. Like she likes this person.
Yeah, I agree totally. I love that screaming, but Daddy, I love him. I'm having his baby. No, I'm not, but you should see your faces.
Right. I love that from her.
Yeah.
To kind of just be like, you know what, guys? Get off my case.
Yeah.
I like this guy, and I really don't care what you guys have to say about it.
Exactly. Like that. And she must have, when she was in the moment, it must have been like, God, like, I just wish I could rub it all your faces.
She's probably like classic, I just want to run away with you.
She's all, I'd rather burn my whole life down than listen to one more second of all this bitching and moaning.
I couldn't love that anymore.
Yeah, she's like, I don't give a fuck. Everyone shut the fuck up.
I love that because I really think sometimes we all need a slap of reality in the face that, everybody thinks they're entitled to what somebody else should do. Like, she's kind of just like, fuck off.
I know.
I'm going to get on stage and perform for you guys. I'm going to give you 31 songs on a new album. I'm going to give you all the merch. I'm going to give you my fucking heart and soul. Yeah. Let me do whatever the fuck I want.
Right. But, I mean, this was so clearly, like, once again, very relatable. How many times are we going to say, once again? I think I've said it way too many times
relatable.
Yeah. Right? Like.
No.
Okay.
It fits.
Getting out of that relationship, calling the past guy up immediately. Florida, featuring Florence and the Machine. Love, obsessed, great song. I love Flo.
Beautiful.
I like Flo being on a song called Florida.
Yeah. Right.
Cohesive.
It fits. I feel like this was relatable in the sense of like, when we feel like we need to just go somewhere, we just go to Florida.
Yep.
And clearly maybe Taylor does as well.
It's like a drug,
I didn't know this. Her dad lives there. Some are saying.
Oh.
I saw some saying. I don't know how true that is, but I saw people saying that on the internet. So.
I also saw, like, I guess when her shows in Florida were, like, when the breakup was announced in between, like, Texas, because there were some references to Texas, too, in between Texas and Florida. But I like that one as well.
Emma Stone is credited on that song, right? Florida.
She is?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't.
And people were like, they don't know why she's credited, but.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Yeah.
As a songwriter?
I'm not sure as a songwriter, but she's just credited on the song.
I didn't know that either. I didn't see that anywhere either.
Really? I saw people. Emma Stone's credited on Taylor Swift's new song, Florida. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, if you click on song credits on Spotify, it doesn't.
Yeah, no, it says gets oddities credit on Taylor Swift's song. I feel like people don't.
I don't know what that means, but
and I didn't see it.
What I see on Spotify is just performed by Florence and the Machine and Taylor Swift, written by Taylor Swift and Florence Welch, produced by Jack Antonoff, Taylor Swift.
This says it's credited with oddities, and it's the only credit like that on the album. So maybe just
interesting
inspiration.
Then we go into there's Guilty as Sin. This one, the ones that I'm like the sound like. The lyrics are all really good, but for me, like, I wasn't.
Yeah. You can appreciate
with this one,
it, but not
exactly. And this goes back to like when you're listening all in a row. I love Florida, and then I love Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. So I'm like, just get me to Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. Who's Afraid of Little Old Me? So good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Any Taylor Swift song where she throws in like a little screaming chorus where she's just like. At the top of her lungs.
Letting it out.
Chaotic. Love it. And I feel like this is another one of her talking to the people. Like, just fame in general. Who's afraid of little old me?
Yeah.
It's a good one. Really, really good. I Can Fix Him, No Really I Can. You know what's crazy is like we talked about it when the track list came out. We're like, wow, these songs, the titles are really descriptive.
Right.
And it panned out exactly as the
right there
as the song really titles would think.
Being laid out on the line, except we just thought they were all about Joe, and yet there's another person involved here.
Yep. Exactly. Arguably in competition with So Long London for saddest song, LOML, Loss of My Life.
Right. Not the usual
Love of My Life.
Not the usual acronym.
Yep.
It's usually Love of My Life, not Loss of My Life.
Yep.
Which is a downer.
Yeah. Once again, these lyrics are just
heartbreaking.
Crushing. If you know it in one glimpse, it's legendary. You and I go from one kiss to getting married. Still alive, killing time at the cemetery, never quite buried. And you suit and tie in the nick of time. You low down boy, you stand up guy, you Holy Ghost. You told me I'm the love of your life. You said I'm the love of your life about 1,000,000 times. It's just like another one that's like that guy that is just stringing you along for a long, long time. And this is another one that I think people were back and forth like Maddie Joe. I don't, so...
I feel
shit talked me under the table, talking rings and talking cradles.
I feel like there could be a mixture of both of them on many songs. Like, I don't think one song has to be about one person.
Right, it could be
I think
mixed.
she can use inspiration from all different people, even past relationships, and be like, this sounds good, I'm going to throw that in there.
Yeah, absolutely. I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, easily one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a top one for me. I think it goes So Long London, and then this is number 2.
Really, really good. And also extremely transparent. This is, she's starring the Eras Tour, massive undertaking. She's on stage, she's got the smile on her face, the whole thing, but she's going through like the worst breakup of her life
right
at the same time. So The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived. Woo! Get him.
Yeah, sad.
When she hit that in your Jehovah's Witness suit, I was like, ooh.
Right.
Got him.
You really got him.
Got him. Who the fuck was that guy?
Yeah, you never want to be called the smallest man to ever live. Really emasculating.
Yep. Yeah, no, she did not hold back on this one at all.
I feel like for most of them she didn't hold back.
No, she didn't, but there were certain feelings of, I just feel like she's had these Maddie songs or feelings towards him for so long that she was finally able to like channel them into songs, and she was like, I'm just gonna let it rip, like just say everything I want to say. Then we get into the Alchemy Travis song. Thank God we got one. I
think the people were thrilled that we got a Travis song because people were like, oh my God, are we gonna have to wait to hear about Travis until the next album? We're never gonna get a happy song about Travis on this one because of the name of the album. No, we got him. We got 2 of them.
I know. My favorite part of this song was shirts off and your friends lift you up above their heads, beer sticking to the floor, cheers chanted because they said there's no chance trying to be the greatest in the league. Where's the trophy? He just comes running over to me.
Well, I will say this though. Remember when that AI song was released?
Yeah. Travi. Yeah.
It wasn't too far off.
No, it really wasn't.
It wasn't.
Honestly,
you know Ball, I know Aristotle. It wasn't too far off.
It
the
really
AI
wasn't.
song.
It really wasn't. She just didn't call him Travi in a song, which for the best.
Right, but she might as well have.
She might as well have. I just think, where's the trophy? He just comes running over to me, like that vision of them on the field just after the Super Bowl. Like, oh God, it's just amazing.
The mention of Ball. It was like, oh, she really put it all out there.
Yep. Clara Bow obviously was a real life person and starlet, and she's channeling that in this moment. I feel like Taylor loves to reference historical figures and stuff that she feels like a kinship with.
And she name dropped herself, which had people really shaken up hearing her say her own name.
Right.
Because
she like Taylor Swift.
We've heard her say Taylor, just not Taylor Swift.
Yeah. And that's the end of the first side. Then you go into the anthology. Black Dog, also one of my favorites. Now, granted, I'm going to pretend that this is about the Black Dog, which is a store in the north, like Martha's Vineyard, Cape Cod area. I have tons of Black Dog merch. So I feel like it ties in quite well with this with the song, even though it's another one that's like, hey, here's another place I'll never go to that I loved, and
imagine it really was about the place in Martha's Vineyard. And everyone thought it was about the pub in London.
Yes, I know. She was very specific. But she said, I just don't understand how you don't miss me. In The Black Dog, when someone plays the starting line and you jump up, but she's too young to know this song. That was intertwined in the magic fabric of our dreaming. Old habits die screaming. But this one also has like maybe a little more just a upbeat production, I feel like, you know. I'm gonna get you back, all one word.
Now there was a lot of reference to Get You Back, Olivia Rodrigo, to this song, and people were saying that if this was released the opposite way, if Taylor released I'm Gonna Get You Back and then Olivia released Get You Back, there would be a huge uproar.
Right.
I don't know. It's who's to say? I just saw that discussion being thrown around.
I just feel like it's just...
there are so many songs with the same song title, and...
the idea of getting someone back also is... There's tons of songs.
It's been done plenty of times before.
To me, the way it's done is just so much more a reference to the 1975. Like the 1975 does that with their songs.
Yeah.
With them all in condensed into one word.
Right.
No
I
spaces.
do love Olivia Rodrigo's song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
But I do think, there are, it's almost like saying to anybody who has the same title of a song that you can never repeat that title of a song, because there are so many. But
I feel like Taylor Swift
songs.
There aren't coincidences with Taylor Swift. Like everything is purposeful with her.
It could be.
Yeah, but if you
maybe I'm Gonna Get You Back, you used that song and didn't credit me. I'm also now gonna take the title of one of your songs, meaning I'm gonna get you back by doing this, but I'm gonna act like it's something else.
Isn't the Olivia Rodrigo song just called "Get You Back"?
Yeah, I said that.
Yeah.
But
I'm saying
Get You Back.
It's similar. So maybe she's like, hey, this is me getting you back. A little nod to that as well. Could be.
It could.
And it also could be not. But something to think about.
The Albatross is the next one. Kind of hand up, I had to Google Albatross. I was like, I don't know what this is. It's a big bird, once again. So that was like another, I was like, what is an albatross?
Right, big word.
It's a large white ocean bird that has very long wings. And kind of like anti-hero, like I'm a sexy monster on the hill kind of vibe again with this one. There's some people saying that maybe this is a Travis, some references to Travis in here, but it also just kind of feels like she's looking at herself in relationships. Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus, another one. Hello, Maddie, like in and out of her life. There's all these other people. He's coming in with other people. She's coming in with other people.
If you have any of those names, you were very excited to see that song.
Right. Right. There are a lot of references these recently and names used in songs, especially on this album, where you're like, oh shit, that's me. Or, that's my name. You just never think that it'd be something she would use. But she said, you said some things I can't unabsorb. You turned me into an idea of sorts. You needed me, but you needed drugs more, and I couldn't watch it happen. This is the one that I was talking about. It's this song. That's why I couldn't remember at the beginning, because I'm like, Chloe or Sam or Sophia or Marcus. It's like it's a tough one
it's a mouthful
to get out. But so if I sell my apartment and you have some kids with an internet starlet, will that make your memory fade from this scarlet maroon? Another potential reference to past songs. Like, is Maroon about fucking Maddie Healy now too?
Could be.
Oh my goodness gracious.
Now she wants it to be.
How Did It End is another track 5, so obviously another one that you're just like, holy shit, this is sad. I think this one is also just very relatable in the relationship has ended. You kind of blinked, you were in a long-term relationship, like, how did we go from being so good to this? How did it end? So High School, adorable.
This one everyone was very excited about because it's very clearly about Travis having that high school sort of love.
Yep. Very like that guitar started and I was like, oh, this is like Fearless album type lyrics, which I mean sound, which I thought fit so well.
Yes. I felt like there were a lot of lyrics in this song where people took literally instead of just thinking she's writing it from the point of view of like being in high school, like your boys are in the other room playing Grand Theft Auto and I hold back my sighs. Like I doubt Taylor and Travis are frolicking with the boys playing Grand Theft Auto in the same room.
They could.
No,
Patrick Mahomes is playing Grand Theft Auto.
I really think this is just a reference. They are 30-something years. They could excuse themselves into a room.
Maybe the Grand Theft Auto one, but her saying, "I'm watching American Pie with you on a Saturday night."
Oh, that
could
I'm
be
like,
real.
that's right. Yeah. That could totally be real.
Yeah.
But they're both 30-something years old. If they want to fuck, they could just go into a room and fuck.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Like they're not sitting in a room with his friends playing video games while he's touching her on the bed. Like that was just a reference to high school, and people took that so literally. They were like, "Oh my God!" For Travis's friends hearing this song, being like, they were like, they're not kids. Like I was getting a little angry about that. I was like, they are not actually in high school.
Can I also just say though, I really do picture all of them at Travis's house playing video games.
That could be. I'm not saying you can't be 30-something years old and playing video games, but they're separating the two. At that age.
And then also another great reference, she called back to a Travis interview that's gone viral from like years ago of a marry, fuck, kill that he did, that Taylor was involved in. So she literally said, "Are you going to marry, kiss, or kill me? It's just a game, but really I'm betting on all three for us two." So like I said, a lot of direct references I feel like laughing in the middle of practice to that impression you did of your dad again. Shout out at Kelsey.
He's probably pumped.
I hate it here. This is like the realm where I was like, okay, I mean, these are just sad fucking songs, you know? Like
just letting it all out.
These are sad girl songs for sure. Thank you, Amy. Hello, Kim Kardashian. Direct bombing.
A direct hit. It was like, all right, hi Joe, hi Maddie Healy, hi Travis. Hello, Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Wasn't expecting to see you here.
Yeah.
But here's a direct, let me capitalize your name in the song lyric and let everyone know this is 100% about you.
Yeah.
There was discussion about how, no, this isn't actually about Kim. Are you nuts?
I saw
she capitalized her
Kim,
name in the song. She would not capitalize the name Kim for it to be about somebody else. It is about Kim Kardashian. She is blatantly saying, hi, everybody. This is about Kim Kardashian.
Yeah, they're just two absolute, complete, without a doubt, references to Kim Kardashian. Like, it's just
spray tan.
I know. I saw a TikTok of someone like trying to like this song to a Karlie Kloss edit. I was like, no. What are we trying to do here, guys?
I've never seen Karlie Kloss with a spray tan.
It's just clear as day. And you know, call me naive. But I think there's been so much discourse still about Taylor and Kim and would they be friends, and her friends are doing the Skims campaigns and all these things that everyone's still talking about the two of them together. And this was Taylor's way of saying, I will never forgive what she did. And that's it. And thank you, because, you know, like, it's like, because here I am and here I'm thriving and that's it. But that's that.
I think it was a blatant, no, I will never, like you said, no, I will never forgive her. But, like, thanks, but no
It'll
thanks.
Always be there. Well, we don't really like, this is it. This is how a relationship's going to be. And your kids are going to keep singing to my songs, and that's it.
I was thinking to myself, like, imagine that day Kim Kardashian had it lined up to release a Skims campaign with Maddie Healy. Oh. Like if only she was tipped off a little bit,
right?
And she dropped the Skims campaign the same day with another one of Taylor's friends. Because there was seemingly, you know, at this point, I think Kim Kardashian is probably very aware that all of, you know, Taylor Swift's fans are going to come for her and hate her. Not all, because there are people who, you know, I think it's not all, because some people like both. But the ones that will kill for Taylor are going to come for Kim, and I think she's aware of that. And I think she probably, at this point, there's got to be part of her that cares, but I also think there's a part of her that's like accepted it.
Yeah.
And like, you know.
Yeah.
Part of her definitely, you know, you're getting all that hate, like you have to care a little bit.
Yeah.
But there's also probably a part of her that also was like, okay, I know this is coming, so whatever. But when you get not even, because people can't even speculate. Like it's a direct, here's your name in capital letters.
No, absolutely. And I do think, like, you know, it's a choice to mention the children.
It's definitely a choice. Also definitely a choice to mention wanting somebody dead or saying my mother wanted you dead. That's bold.
Let me tell you something.
If you
that's honest.
If you fucking hate somebody so much that you want them dead, that means you really despise them.
It's just, to me, like, that is honesty, and she's being honest about her hatred, because I think that there are you have people in your life that you meet, whether it's a high school rival or later, whatever it is, that you're just like, you know it's wrong. Like, you know it's wrong, but deep down you're like, ugh,
I would never wish death upon anybody. And
no, but I
would
mean,
never say my mom wished death upon anybody.
But even
she's being honest.
Even in that way, though, I don't think Andrea was like, God, I wish you would die. Like,
listen, a parent's hatred for what somebody has done to you,
it is another level.
It's another level than what you feel.
Now, and I'm
speaking on reference of my parents.
In that reference, then it's a little bit more understandable, because Taylor's not saying she said she wished she died. She's said saying, her mom did.
My mom, right?
So,
which is, you know, I think only like if I can ask my parents, like, you know, have there been times, you know, sometimes maybe you don't mean it, but maybe it comes out of your mouth. I think it's very clear what the situation did to her. I think it caused a lot of trauma for her. Clearly she rose on top and is thriving and is succeeding in the biggest way possible, so it's kind of like a fuck you. But at the same time, it clearly did some damage to her.
Totally. I look in people's windows. One of my favorite things about this one too is I felt like there was a little bit of a death by a thousand cuts sort of moment in this, because in Death by a Thousand Cuts she sings, you know, I look through the windows of this love, and then that was beautiful.
That was and really hit it.
And I look in people's windows, it's like I looked in people's windows in case you're at the table, what if your eyes? So it's like, I felt like almost Death by a Thousand Cuts. She's like, I'm looking at my own, this love. Now I'm looking at it through another lens. The Prophecy, another one where it just feels like referencing how many times people are like, oh, Taylor, all her relationships are fated to end, and she is always breaking up with people, and oh my God, Travis, don't, like, you're gonna curse the Chiefs, like all these things, right? So, but yeah, that's I've seen far too many Harry Potter edits on TikTok to this one, which was funny, but you know, good, because The Prophecy. Then it's Cassandra, which a lot of people think maybe could be another like Kim Kanye type song. This one I do also think has a major Mad Woman sound. Like, it sounds very similar in that beginning, like, so they kill Cassandra, like just a da-na-na-na-na, same kind of sound. Peter leaving Wendy, another one. Another reference
about Maddie Healy.
Yeah, which makes sense. It seems just to be a lot of empty promises from this guy, Maddie Healy, and she writes about it all through almost every song that Maddie has referenced. It's like, you said we were gonna figure this out, and we didn't.
Right.
You know.
Now we don't know him.
No.
And Taylor does. But I would say on the outside looking in, I'm not too surprised.
Yeah. The Bolter. These last ones, they were sad. You get to the end of the album and you're like, whew, they're emotional. I would say the Bolter, Robin, the Manuscript are all extremely emotional, introspective, nostalgic. Like, Robin is very, very nostalgic, referencing, like, you know, moments of childhood and things like that, which is very emotional, because she has a line that says, like, way to go, Tiger. My dad called me Tiger growing up.
Really?
Yeah. And honestly, I think
Did
he
you
felt like
like
all
it?
of us. Yeah, I mean, it was
The way
like
that you said it, I was unsure.
No. In like a very upbeat, like, you got to
Go get him, Tiger.
Yeah. You know? So it was sweet. I like that. And then she wraps it all up with the manuscript, where is really the perfect bow on the end of this whole story of like, here is everything. I've talked about it. Here's this whole album. And now we're moving on. And that's that.
It does feel like a lot of chapters closed, a lot of stories
Yep.
she's leaving behind. She's entering a whole new chapter of her life with Travis. We did get some of that on this album, but I do feel like wrapping this up and leaving it with everybody else is what she said. Like, this is now everybody else's story.
Yep.
Everybody else can relate to it, and now I'm going to move on with my life. And I wouldn't be surprised if she's already moving on to a lovey-dovey, happy type pop album because of how deep and emotional this is, and probably heart-wrenching, and probably took a lot out of her, an emotional toll, to move on to like a happy pop album. I would not be surprised.
The only thing that's left is the manuscript. One last souvenir for my trip to your shores. Now and then I reread the manuscript, but the story isn't mine anymore. It's like I said, that's it. She's moved on.
Closing the book.
Closing the chapter. And yeah, I mean, I think, you know, she's very publicly worked with Jack Antonoff, Aaron Dessner, totally different sounds from those producers, and it's all kind of combined into one big album where you can feel the Jack Antonoff, you can feel the Aaron Dessner. Some people really feel strongly that they are Jack Antonoff sound girls, Aaron Dessner and Taylor Swift sound girls. They you know, that's a big conflict. I know, like, everyone's like, oh, I just wish she would only work with Aaron Dessner and forget Jack Antonoff. I love the Jack. Sue me. I like a synthetic beat, and I like that sound. And Noah was like, ugh, Aaron Dessner.
Although that is how I feel.
Yeah.
But that's like a big, maybe it's just my side of the internet, but like
your personal taste.
But that's a big thing I'm seeing on the internet, being like, stop working. She needs to stop working with Jack Antonoff. Like, she's outgrown.
Which I think
she's
is
outgrown
crazy.
him.
I've seen both arguments. I've seen some people. It's all based on personal preference.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
it'd be
But
cool
it's
for her to explore a new
For her
sound.
to only work with Aaron Dessner, moving on too, it's like,
But it doesn't have
we've
to be
gotten
him.
folklore, we've gotten, like, we have those
It could be
albums
someone
too.
else.
Someone
Right.
else is definitely, like, for sure she could work with somebody else.
Yeah. Because you get
but
comfortable working with anyone, and then you continue
I
to...
think if we got the next album we got from her was still like all very Aaron Dessner style, I think people would be like, okay,
But also, like, you
This
think if she
is-
released
this is sad.
like another Jack Antonoff album, would people be like, all right, like, now, like, we've had, like,
I guess I'm just telling you from my own personal preference. I wouldn't. I'd be fucking thrilled.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're discussing two different
it's
personal
personal
preferences.
taste.
yeah.
And I think it wouldn't be a bad thing to just explore new sounds in general. Like, she just did 31 songs on this album. It wouldn't be crazy for her to be like, okay, I want to do something totally new.
I agree. I'll finish, just give like top 5.
Sure.
I'm going to go, not necessarily in like 1 through 5 order, but just top 5. For me, it's Florida, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, Black Dog, So High School.
Okay. I'm gonna go,
And not in that order, because I Can Do It With a Broken Heart is probably number 1.
Right. I won't do it in order either, but I'll do So Long London, I Can Do It With a Broken Heart, Who's Afraid of Little Old Me. Okay, so my thoughts on So High School is that, like, I love the meaning behind it.
Yeah.
And I love how it's like, ooh, I'm giggling and kicking my feet. But I don't know if I actually really love, you know what I'm saying? I love the meaning behind it, and I love that it's about Travis.
Yeah.
And I think it's so cute, and I'm like, giddy about it. And I'm so happy she put it on there. But I don't know how many times I'll be like re-listening to it.
Fair.
If that makes sense. Did I say I Could Do It With a Broken Heart? Yes. That was my second one that I mentioned. Shit. So that's why I don't know if I should put it in my top 5. Down Bad.
Yeah. What was the other one you said with So Long London? You were like, So,
I said I could do it with a broken heart.
Yeah,
Was
so
those
do it with a
those
broken-
two
yeah,
were
yeah,
the
yeah,
top for
yeah.
me. I'll put So High School in there just because I love the meaning behind it.
That's fair.
But that'll probably change.
Yeah.
Once I listen to it a couple more times.
Yeah. It always changes.
I need to really digest it.
That's
a
my
bit
top
more.
5 as of right now. Next week it'll be probably totally different. You know?
Yeah.
It always changes.
Like it just depends on the mood.
And yeah, when you have 31 songs to choose from,
Yeah.
it's your
I'm getting
your
my period
favorites are
this
going to
week,
transition
so-
in and out. Yes.
I'm getting my period this week, so I might be moody. You know, who's to say what my favorite song
Right. You
will
might
be.
completely switch. And you're just going to listen to like the last 5 songs on the anthology
Right.
like on repeat.
Exactly. But yeah, that wraps it up for going
Well
through
done,
the
Taylor.
album. Yes, it
does
seriously
it again.
is a work of art
Yep.
and seriously deep. And,
always is.
And pulling at the heartstrings. And
Is this a top 3 Taylor Swift album for you?
For me,
for me
Yeah.
personally, no.
I would also say no.
Top 2 for
But
me
it's-
is
it's-
1989 and Midnights.
Yeah, it's just really hard for me to decide when a new album comes out. Like
Yeah,
I have to I need her to put out another new album for me to decide where this album falls, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like then I can look back and be like, okay, this is
right.
You like
the
Midnights
structure.
that
Like
much?
I don't know. It's
I
tough.
really do like Midnights. I would go 1989, Midnights, and Lover.
Yeah.
I loved Lover
Yeah.
as well. So that would be my top 3. Which I don't know if people would agree with the Lover take.
No,
I think Lover grew on people too. I don't think
I think
people
it
love
did.
Lover.
I
at
also
first.
think you fall into we're very similar in that we fall into a little bit more of the more pop-ish, upbeat sound when like you're either on that side or you're probably Folklore, Evermore, and this
Right.
album. you
Yeah,
know?
that makes
Like,
sense. Yep.
That's so.
definitely makes sense.
There's all different kind of Swifties running around.
That's true. Yeah, I would solidify that as my top 3 for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know. It's too hard. I haven't thought about it.
Vigilante
Yeah.
shit hit way harder for me than Thank You, Amy.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like I thought that about Scooter Braun.
Yeah.
Was like.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, that one hit so hard for me. But I guess it depends on the beat, right?
Right.
Because there were some daggers in the Kim song, but the beat for me, I
Yeah.
didn't like as much
Yeah,
as
yeah,
Do you think that
Vigilante
she
shit.
needed to put her name in the title? Was that just like...
I think she wanted to.
Yeah.
I think,
But, everyone would've known
also,
either way.
Yes, we
a
all would've
reference
known
to
anyway.
"If You Seek Amy" by Britney Spears.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. I think we would have.
I think people could have put 2 and 2
Would've
together.
figured that
As
one
soon
out,
as she
but-
said bronze spray tan,
Yeah.
I didn't even need to read the title. I was like, oh, this is about Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she references I changed. I changed your name in the songs.
No defining
and
clues.
No defining,
But here's your name
But
in
here's
the-
your name.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Which is very bold, and I gotta say, props to her for being so bold.
Yeah.
Being like, hey, I don't care. I'm at the top right now. I don't really care, because there probably was a point in time where she was scared.
Yeah.
And at this point,
Absolutely.
she's like, I'm not scared. And I also think for the Kardashian side of it, they probably also are like, yeah, we're not scared either.
Yeah.
They both are in top places in different sections, you know?
Yep.
Like the Kardashians have reached a point where people fucking despise
Part of it,
them.
I'm sure
but
it's
people,
good for them. The
yeah,
Kardashians.
but the people
publicity.
despise them, but people are always going to pay attention to them. And Taylor Swift right now is at the top of her game, talent-wise, musically in general. So she's also untouchable as well.
But it's the biggest artist in the world dedicated an entire song about you. So at the end of the day, it's not. You can look at it as a good thing too.
I think that
Bad
they
publicity.
might. I think they might live in the camp of all publicity is good.
That's what I'm
publicity.
saying.
Right.
But
Kris Jenner's
maybe
probably
not.
pumped.
No, I don't know if Kris Jenner's pumped. I think
No,
Kris
I don't-
Jenner's probably
yeah.
like, Kim, I told you to call her. I think for Kris Jenner, she's probably like, Kim, I
told
said to you, why
What
didn't you just
if
call
you
Taylor
just
up?
called Taylor up.
And that didn't happen. So, but
Yeah.
I think they're probably both in the camp of not caring so much, but also a little bit at the same time.
Yep.
All right, but that wraps up the discussion. And if you want a very in-depth reaction, go to Taylor Watch Kelly and Gia's video on that. And that's it.
We mentioned it at the beginning of the show, but Macy's Friends and Family Sale, the big one, it's here, guys. You get an extra 30% off brands that almost never go on sale. Great brands: Levi's, Calvin Klein, Tommy Hilfiger, Nike, Gap, Hotel Collection, Lego, and so much more. 15% off beauty and makeup and more. We've mentioned it a bunch, but we are sitting in that department. So just looking out thinking, oh, 15%? That sounds amazing. Also, if you're shopping from home, you can get free shipping at $25. And this is kicking off April 25th, going till May 5th, Macy's.com and in store, which is great because if you're shopping for a trip you have coming up or maybe gifts, like we just said, Mother's Day is coming up as well. So you can shop during the sale. It's the Friends and Family Sale, April 25th to May 5th, Macy's.com and in store. Make sure you get all your great get stuff from Macy's. We're in Macy's as well right now. They have such great brands. You know, this is a Macy's. This denim tops from Macy's. Levi jeans. This is like a Free People simple tank top that you can throw on and wear like truly with anything everywhere. So guys, make sure you're checking out the sale. Macy's Friends and Family Sale, April 25th to May 5th at Macy's.com and in stores.
All right, let's get into the Weekly Watch Report where we talk about the things we watched this week. Weekly Watch Report on Monday, Weekly Watch Report on Monday, Weekly Watch Report on Monday, Weekly Watch Report on Monday
in Macy's.
Yeah. So let's talk about things we watched this week. Okay, I started this new show on Netflix. I'm sure you guys have seen a ton of people talking about it, Baby Reindeer.
Yes.
I watched
Started that. You watched?
the whole thing, yeah.
You watched the whole thing. I'm only on episode 3. Because I think it's excellent, but it started to be nighttime, and
Got a little spooked.
Riri got a little scared.
Yeah, that's
and said, "Hey Matt, can we shut this off and put on New Girl?"
Because it is based on a real
It's a true story,
It's
and
a true
the
story.
guy-
He,
The guy
Richard Gadd,
The actor, it really happened to him.
yes, he plays
Fucking
himself, and it's a very dark story.
Ugh.
And he has experienced a ton of trauma in his life, besides having this, very serious stalker. He's also experienced other trauma in his life. So the story is really deep, and it
takes some wild turns.
It takes a lot of wild turns, and it's dark, and it's eerie, and it's excellent.
Sounds like there's some boxes being unopened somewhere,
Yes.
Excuse the background noise if you can hear it from the inside the Macy's. Continue, sorry. I just wanted to, if people could hear that, I wanted to acknowledge.
Yes. It's excellent. It's really good. It just, I'm only on episode 3 because I heard that episode 4 is very intense.
Yeah.
And I wanted to watch that in the daylight.
I've heard episode 4 is really intense. I haven't even watched any of it yet.
So far, I'll give it an A though. Like it's
Wow,
it's
good. Okay.
It's really good. It's just, you just really feel sorry for him and what he was going through.
Yes,
it's very. I think it's very complex. I think there's a lot of layers to it. I watched Ocean's 13. Great film. I'll give it an A. It's class.
Do you agree with Noah in that 12 just is not as good as 11
but
and
I
13?
liked Ocean's 11
the most.
More.
The most.
I love the ending of Ocean's 13.
The ending-
where they're at the fountain.
Yeah, I mean they do the same thing in 11 as well, where they look up at the end. Yeah.
Okay.
And they might
They're
do
playing the Frank Sinatra song.
Okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, My Town is playing
Yeah, My
at the
Town.
end of Ocean's 13.
This town.
And yeah, I like Ocean's 11 better, but I still like Ocean's 13, so I'll give it an A. I watched, obviously, the Bravo shows, Summer House, Vanderpump at the Valley.
Let me tell you something. Vanderpump and The Valley were both like kind of snoozes for me this week. I
totally agree.
fell asleep watching both of them.
They're like, I had to rewind a couple times to see what happened.
Same. Wow, it's funny you mentioned that. I had to do the exact same because I realized they were talking about something like, gosh, shit, I was not paying attention the last 10 minutes.
Right.
I got to rewind.
Those are getting C-minuses for me. Vanderpump in the Valley. Summer House will get a B.
Summer House I thought was still good.
Summer House is good.
Danielle, man, where does she get off being like, you give Craig nothing?
I've been waiting a damn minute to talk about Danielle. I can't stand Danielle. I can't.
She's always complaining about something.
I've been waiting to talk about this, and I felt like now was the time, because Paige talked about it on the after show, and she talked about it during the show, where she was like, what leg does Danielle have to stand on to judge everybody else's life when she doesn't have her life together, which is okay.
Right.
People are figuring out their lives. Everybody's figuring out their life as it goes on.
Don't be on your high horse.
But don't act like you're better than everybody else. You know, everybody's still figuring it out. It's just like, chill the fuck out and stop pinpointing what other people are doing wrong in their relationships. Figure out your own shit, Danielle. She just gives me loser energy a lot of times, and that is mean of me to say, and I just have to be honest and say it.
And I did like that, like Amanda and Paige both together were kind of like, you know, shit, like kind of feel like we understand where Lindsay was coming from last summer, like with all that drama.
And then on top of that, get a damn job, Carl. Sorry. Maybe Lindsay could have worded it in a different way.
Right.
Which I think
I want my guy to be out there crushing it.
And he said, do you not think I'm crushing it? She said, no. I think the disconnect right now is that the points Lindsay are bringing up are valid.
Right.
Her saying, you know, if we're going to have a life and kids, like you got to have a job, whatever. Valid points.
Delivery.
It's the way the points are delivered.
And it seems like she has been drinking when she has these discussions too.
I feel like the way the points are delivered could be delivered nicer to the person you're going to marry. You know, a serious discussion. Hey, you know, like, I know you're going through a lot, but, you know, I was thinking, you know, why don't you try this or try that? And people saying that she shuts down his ideas. I'm sorry. A sober sports bar is not a good idea. It's not. In terms of like making money, bars make money off of alcohol. A lot of restaurants or new restaurants fail because they're not making money just off the food. And you hear that often with people who have opened up restaurants and they think it's going to take off, and it doesn't. Bars make money because of alcohol.
New York City's tough.
And also, granted, depending on where he probably wants to do in New York City, it's not the best idea. I understand his motive in wanting a place to hang out with sober people, sober sports bar, but bars make money off of alcohol. So I saw Lindsay's part in being like, no, that's not a great idea. It's her delivery in which I could see Carl getting frustrated at. But also, he doesn't seem to have a lot of motivation. So I don't know. The two of them are just the least compatible people I've ever seen in a couple.
Yep.
But I don't think she's, you know, I expected to like watch this at the beginning. I was like, oh, wow, I totally see, you know, where Lindsay was wrong here. And I do see where she's wrong. But I also see where Carl's wrong, too.
I agree.
I think this was just an awful relationship for the two of them.
It was just bound to happen.
I think it's just awful for the two of them.
It was bound to end in some kind of explosive way, it feels like. And I know everyone's been really loving on West, and he's been a good addition, and they're big fans of him. I'm like, I didn't love the whole, like, well, when is Sierra going to sleep with me thing.
Right.
Like, it's like, okay, it's been a few weeks. She's made it very clear how she feels. And her, you know, like, you have to be respectful of that. I think he's trying to be respectful, but also at the same time, like, holding it against her a little bit.
Yeah, and bringing it up to her friends as if her friends are going to say to Sierra, like, hey, why don't you have sex with him? It's like, if Sierra wants to do it, she will.
Yeah.
If she does it. And also, if he's so, like Sierra said it, if he's so concerned, why not bring it up to her?
Right.
You know, like, you're bringing it up to her friends. And I kind of love that Sierra is holding her own. I love Sierra. I watched her on Watch What Happens Live that night too. And I feel like she really just holds her own, and she is trying to not make the same mistakes that she's made in the past. Yep. And she's like, yeah, I'm not going to sleep with him if I don't want to or don't feel like it. Like, she doesn't see the purpose in just sleeping with people for fun. She wants a connection. I totally understand where she's coming from. And I think it's so respectful of her. And Wes may really like her, but I also feel like there's some sort of thing he's trying to like conquer here. And I still like him, but I didn't love that. Mm-hmm. And it was a good episode. But I am just, Carl and Lindsay, I mean, when she said, no, I don't think you're crushing it, I was like,
I know.
Damn.
I know.
The delivery.
I know.
But I don't think it's an awful thing to want your,
fair.
fiance, soon to be husband, to have a job.
Yeah.
So, that's my thought.
Just be a little more delicate.
Yeah,
maybe.
right. She's not delicate with the delivery.
Yeah.
Not really caring with the delivery.
Yeah. But also, maybe she's just fed up at this point. She's
Right.
like, how many more times can we have the same conversation? Probably. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tough.
Yep.
But thank God that ended.
Yeah.
Thank God the two of them didn't get married.
Yeah, that was the right thing.
But I just still go back to Lindsay being like, I was blindsided.
Yeah, well, she has to sell a story.
Blindsided where?
Right.
It's very clear that you too
Was not all sunshine and rainbows for the entire summer.
wasn't sunshine and rainbows really ever.
Yeah.
It looked like it was just clouds and rainstorms the entire summer.
Yeah.
So that's everything I watched. And New Girl I'm still watching.
I watched all the Bravo shows. I'll give Summer House a B. I'll give Vanderpump and The Valley, what'd you say, C minus?
Yeah.
I'm in the same world. C minus. And I watched episode 8 of Shogun, so I'm not caught up. I think the finale comes out this week. Tomorrow, yep. I have to watch episode 9, which I've heard everybody raving about, but episode 8 was very good. I'll give that an A minus. Shogun's fantastic, I've said it. Up to date on Abbott Elementary, my comfort show. I'll give that a B plus. Love seeing Miss Janine return to Abbott. And I watched Kung Fu Panda 4.
Oh yes. You did mention you were going to do that.
Oh, one thing about my fiance is he loves Jack Black.
He fucking loves Jack Black. He's like Jack Black's number one
He
fan.
really loves Jack Black. Like, if I could find a way to have Jack Black I got served a TikTok the other day that I was like, oh my God, it was Maya Rudolph on a talk show. And she and Jack Black, I guess, went to high school together. Mm-hmm. And Jack Black was like her improv class leader or whatever. And she just had the nicest things to say about him. She was like, he is exactly the same guy he was, so kind, so great. And I was like, oh my God, this is so great to hear. But no, he texted me on Thursday and was like, hey, can we order dinner and watch Kung Fu Panda 4 tonight?
Next question.
Absolutely. So watch Kung Fu Panda 4. Amazing. All those movies are very similar. They're fun, love. Give Kung Fu Panda 4 Kung Fu Panda 4 will get a C plus, a healthy,
good film,
70 out of 100.
Nice, yeah.
That's all I have.
Oh,
Skadoosh.
Okay. I watched episode 9 of Shogun. Great. I
Crimson
won't say
Sky.
anything. Yeah, I won't say anything.
I only saw the title. Literally it said watch next episode 9. Crimson Sky. I was like, oh fuck, and it was late, so we were like, okay, we gotta be sat for this one.
Yeah, highly recommend. I'll give that an A minus. I started the new show Under the Bridge on Hulu with Riley Keough and
Yes.
Lily
Yes.
Gladstone. Very good, very good.
I want to watch that too.
I watched the first 2 episodes. There's only 2 out. It gives what was that show? Mayor of Easttown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very similar, vibes to that. I'll give that a B plus. I started this new show on Apple TV with Colin Farrell, Sugar. Very good.
Apple TV's biggest fan.
Very good.
Apple
Sugar.
TV's got good shows.
It's the style of the show is film noir-esque. It feels like you're watching an older type thing, but it's basically Colin Farrell's
sound like this is for
a
me.
private investigator, and no, it's good. It's good. It's very good. I'll give that an A minus. I watched 4, however many episodes that is out, and then I watched all of Baby Reindeer. I'll give that a B.
This is a limited series, right? It's like six,
Yeah,
is it
it's
6
only like
episodes or
6?
yeah,
or-
5 or 6?
Yeah. Very good. Definitely like not fun to watch at certain times, like intense. But very good, and kind of crazy that he's playing himself. Has to like relive all this.
Yeah, I was thinking that, like, what it's like for him to relive everything he went through, and also openly being like, I had this
I saw
very
that.
intense stalker.
People are like, "Are you worried that this is gonna?" And he's like, no, like it's in the past now. But
Yeah.
I'd still be worried. Like this would attract maybe like new stalkers.
Right,
or, like,
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like bringing it up again. Like, where is this person now? Like,
Yeah. Also,
I haven't
she's
gotten
very
to the
good.
end,
Whoever the
so-
actress is who plays the stalker.
Oh, she's fantastic.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, a lot of.
She's a good stalker.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's a
because she makes you like scared.
scared.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
gosh.
that's why I had to shut. I was like, I can't.
Yep.
continue
But
this
yeah, I'll
right
give
now.
that a B just because I think it was very good. But I'm not gonna rewatch. Like, I didn't really like necessarily enjoy a lot of the time I was watching.
Right. I think it's terrifically made.
Yeah.
But it's not something where I'm like, you need to go watch it right now.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Fair.
But yeah, that's all I watched.
Very
All right.
nice.
That's everything we watched this week. All right, that wraps up today's episode of Chicks in the Office. Thank you so much to Macy's for having us record here. It's been a real treat. I've almost forgot that we are in the middle of a Macy's right now. People are shopping, have a fantastic time. I might go shopping right after this because I am tempted looking out there.
I know.
But it's been a great day, and I'm going to be missing these comfy seats that we've been in and the fact that my
love these
feet
chairs.
can't touch the floor. So thank you to Macy's, and thank you guys so much for watching and listening. We'll talk to you on Wednesday.